chiamo Jamil, sono nato e cresciuto a Gerusalemme. Ho iniziato a studiare la musica quando avevo 5 anni, sì. Poi i miei genitori hanno scoperto l'istituto di il Magnificat a Gerusalemme, dove ho iniziato lezioni di pianoforte. L'amore per la musica è sempre stato una parte principale della mia vita, perché mio nonno, tutti i nonni erano musicisti o cantanti nella chiesa. Il mio papà è una musicista jazz che suona il contrabbasso e il bass, chitarra bass. Quindi ho sempre sentito la musica, ero il strano perché sono andato alla musica classica. Ho fatto il triennio con la convenzione tra il Conservatorio di Vicenza e l'Istituto Magnificat di Gerusalemme. Io ero il primo laureato in questa convenzione tra le due conservatori, nel canto rinascimentale e barocco, nell'anno 2019. Io ho studiato per 10 anni il pianoforte, poi ho continuato come cantante, ho studiato canto, ho fatto il triennio in canto e poi il canto lirico per il biennio. Adesso sono preoccupato di fare il direttore di coro, sto studiando e fare workshop e masterclass cioè qui in Italia e anche a Gerusalemme, per migliorarmi. La mia canzone preferita è veramente un brano molto speciale, che è il Cantique de Jean Racine, che è scritta da Fauré. Un brano corale con l'organo, è quasi religioso, è molto speciale perché parla della pace, esistenza tra gli uomini e le donne, quindi cioè, tra gli umani. Quindi per me è un brano molto speciale. Quando lo sento mi fa ricordare che perché mi amo la musica corale, perché sono diventato o voglio diventare un bravo direttore di coro, perché io sono il direttore del coro Yasmeen a Gerusalemme al Magnificat. Il direttore del Magnificat, padre Alberto Pari, ha suggerito il mio nome come un candidato di venire qui a Vicenza di fare questo masterclass di direzione di coro con il maestro Ezio Spinoccia. Mi è piaciuto tanto come lavora, come fa capire le cose, le nuance corali della direzione, che è molto particolare, molto preciso. E questa volta avere questa opportunità di fare 4 giorni interi di direzione di coro con il maestro Spinoccia per me è molto importante. Cioè, ho imparato tanto, devo imparare ancora di più, certamente, però adesso ho la strada più chiara, cosa devo fare, qual è l'obiettivo finale, diciamo. Spero che nel futuro anche possiamo avere questa opportunità di fare altri masterclass e workshop qui a Vicenza, anche il giro. Sì, per me è un indimenticabile. Il progetto JERUS-IT-ARTS l'ho sentito quando ho iniziato a Gerusalemme, perché l'altro partner di questo progetto anche è la Custodia di Terra Santa, e la prima volta che ho scoperto questo progetto volevano fare l'inventario professionale dell'archivio musicale della Custodia di Terra Santa. Hanno scoperto tanti volumi di musica locale dei compositori locali palestinesi, che adesso finalmente abbiamo un inventario dell'archivio musicale della Custodia di Terra Santa. Io faccio parte di questo progetto anche come scanizzare tutti gli spartiti. Quella è la prima esperienza con il progetto. Poi ho scoperto che stanno facendo tante cose, per esempio il coro Amouage di Betlemme e Gerusalemme, Hebron, che sono venuti qui anche in Italia, anche a Vicenza. Poi col Magnificat, con tanti masterclass anche da noi, che maestri e professori da Vicenza sono venuti al Magnificat di fare masterclass sotto il progetto di JERUS-IT-ARTS. Questo progetto molto speciale perché ha dato queste opportunità per tutti noi palestinesi di Gerusalemme, anche di Betlemme e Hebron, di fare un po' di più, di scoprire la connessione tra la musica e l'arte. Allora, quando ho iniziato a fare tutte le digitalizzazioni nell'archivio musicale della Custodia, io non ho scoperto questa cosa, però chi ha fatto l'inventario mi ha fatto vedere che era Lucia Danna, che ha fatto l'inventario dell'archivio musicale, ha scoperto un requiem scritta da un compositore palestinese dopo la guerra del 48. Questa requiem, scritta per 3 voci e organo, è un ringraziamento al Signore che lui, la sua famiglia, i suoi amici sono sopravvissuti dopo la guerra. Ho avuto un po' di emozioni, perché è molto speciale vedere un compositore palestinese, Augustin Lama si chiama, che ha scritto questo requiem, ha scritto altre cose, tante altre cose, però questo requiem, lui nel suo mano ha scritto che ringraziamento per il Signore che è sopravvissuto alla guerra del 48. È un brano molto speciale per me, perché un requiem per tutti quelli che sono morti durante la guerra, però anche una preghiera, un po' di speranza, secondo me, un po' di... siamo sopravvissuti, quindi possiamo guardare davanti al futuro un po'.
My name is Nadine Shaheen and I'm from Jerusalem, the old city. And I am a teacher of music. I have a choir and I teach music theory. Yeah, and sometimes I teach vocal coach. I teach voice. I started when I was 10. I started in a choir also. Then it was with Miss Hania Sudah Sabara that she was the choir conductor at school, that she told me, Nadine, why don't you come to the Magnificat? And that's how I started. I started in piano lessons. Then I went to cello. It's not my first time in Italy. I came a lot of times with the choirs and orchestra playing cello when I was young. But in Vicenza, I don't know if I came too much here, but I remember when I entered, I saw the hall. We recorded a CD for Yasmeen Choir with Miss Hania Sabara and Father Armando. So we recorded a CD here with 11 songs about folkloric music, music for peace, fun music. So we recorded. So when I came to this project, I was emotional, like, oh, I remember here we recorded something. Then when I entered to the hall, I was sure that it's the same hall. So it was emotional, and I like the project. I like the course because I had a lot of benefit from Professor Ezio Spinoccia. So I really appreciate it because I had a lot of new information to use in my career, in my job actually with children. I taught children group from age 3, even less, until 6. Maybe I taught for 7 years, but then I was tired because it's too much. So then I decided only choirs. So I started my own choir actually in a scout. After 3 years, I started in Magnificat Buds Choir because I think I had some experience. So that's why they asked me if I can. Okay, I have no problem. I will be happy actually. And this is it. And in the other conservatory also I have choirs. So I have 3 choirs. In the Magnificat, I have 22. This is the 2nd year that I'm teaching in the Magnificat choir. And the other choir that I started, it started with 7. I struggled with the companist. He's a young boy actually because it's a scout. So, we struggled. We started with 7, then 13. In the end, now they are 30 something. They are not musicians. Okay, so they started like from 0 and they grew and they have a beautiful voice. But now when I came here, because it's Italy, like it's a different styles. We sing Arabic music, so not Oriental, but Arabic music. So when I came here, the way of singing, the technique, because the Italian songs for children even, it's like, but in Arabic it's not like that. We can do it, but using this technique, it will not give the feeling of the Arabic music. So I will take from this technique because it will help in their using the voice. It gives them also the way to know more, because I gave them once Italian song they didn't like because also English. No, it's hard. So no, we have to learn, because when I was young also we learned Italian songs, German songs, Armenian. So you have to learn. So I will introduce more Italian songs because it will help them to know how to use the voice in a good technique. Even my sister always say, I don't understand how you are still teaching music. I tell her, it's my life, yeah. I love Fairuz. She's a singer of in the Arab world. So she's top one for me.
My name is Evgeny Markel. I'm a teacher at the Magnificat Institution in Jerusalem, and I teach classic guitar. I teach there for almost 15 or 15 plus years. I always like music, but when I was young, I was more into rock music. So of course I want to play electric guitar, but I thought, okay, I will start with classic guitar. So I started at the age of 12 or 13. Luckily I have a good classical teacher, and little by little I fell in love with classical guitar. And then at some point I realized this is what I want to do in life. So I pursued this. At the age of 18 I entered Jerusalem Academy of Music. So then I studied classical guitar with Joseph Yerushalmi and Yoram Zarbiv. So this is how it started. And from then, mostly teaching, performing here and there. I think I had this switch at some point because it's one thing to be a good performer and it's completely other thing teaching music. So at the beginning I was more pursuing a performer's career and I wanted to play, and teaching was like a side job, something to do to survive. But little by little I found more and more passion to teaching students other than for performing, because in my idea today we have so many good guitarists and so many good players, and I understood at some point my contribution will be less than I can do by teaching. So I really started pursuing more interest in teaching people and to help developing them, especially in their young years. I think it's really important to give them values. So, of course, I teach music, but also through music, I'm feeling I'm helping, educating, and supporting them becoming better people and have a better life, hopefully. Because it's very unique, this opportunity. When you teach, you have 1 hour a week with students for so many years. So it becomes really personal relationship. And I felt the students developed through the years with me, and I followed them through their life. And it is a great pleasure being able to contribute and to educate and to make somehow their life better. I was in Italy a few times already. We did it maybe 7-8 years ago. Also, we came to different schools in Sicilia, also for guitar orchestra. But Vicenza, I visited one time with my student who was doing finishing BA. So we visited Vicenza for his degree. And this is our second time to me go back to be a student again, to which I'm very lucky. And it's a very, very, very big pleasure, because teaching over the years, I developed my way of teaching, my way of thinking, my way of contributing. And I hope it's a good way. But when I came here now, I was glad to first found reinforcement in my way of teaching, so this is a good path I follow, and also opened my mind to a lot of other ideas. So it's like renewing things, because I believe also as a teacher you need to have both ends. I see myself like a pipe. So if I need to receive, I need also develop myself to learn something, and I need to give to the students. And if the one end of the pipe is closed, you can't develop. If you can't teach what you know, so your teaching, your music and your teaching become worse, like a swamp. And the same, if you don't study and you don't renew your technique of way of teaching, so also your way of teaching is getting worse. So this was a great opportunity for me to come and to learn from the greatest teachers, and to learn new way of thinking, new way of approaches. We stayed 1 week, and we were studying with Professor Stefano Viola, which I'm very grateful, and I want to thank also Professor Viola and Professor Riccardo Tamai for this great opportunity. Classic guitar is set-up instrument which has its the ideas of technique and technical way of playing. I think it's a good thing for everybody to learn, because even if you're electric guitar player or if you're jazz player, you can always have the same ideas of how to approach technical issues, how to approach the instrument, the setup, the sitting, and have ideas to solve other issues. So I believe the classical approach is developing for so many years, and anybody can take something from it. If you ask my personal great composer, it will be Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. And if I need to choose a piece of Johann Sebastian Bach, I think I would choose the Chaconne Bach. My way of teaching, which I found with years, is also there is not a strict approach that is correct. So what I'm trying to do is to suit the technical approach or way of teaching per student. So I'm trying to be really open-minded with it and to teach in certain kind of ways. But over the years, still my teaching experience is limited and knowledge is limited. So as free as I want to be, I have a limited set of tools. So in this case, this opportunity was really great because it's gave me so much like a new water, a new way of thinking, new methods of thinking. And I hope I will take this now and incorporate it in my way of teaching. I already think that this will happen. I know this is it's a great project, and this project allows us really to come to Italy and to study here, which I appreciate so much, and very thankful. And I wish this will continue and we have more opportunities, and so other teachers maybe also can come and learn, because this is really priceless.
My name is Tala Akawi. I am a guitarist from Jerusalem. I started learning guitar when I was 9 years old, and I also moved on to flute later, but I remained with my main instrument, the guitar, until now. I'm 25 years old. I studied my bachelor in Cyprus, in European University in Nicosia. I also am doing now my master's in guitar performance at the Jerusalem Academy of Music. It started actually because I was observing and listening to lots of music of electrical guitar, and I wanted to learn guitar. So the only way it was possible was classical guitar. And then I fell in love with the classical guitar, and then I couldn't change it at all. I teach guitar, classical guitar. I also teach in schools, like just a recorder, as I also have a flute background. So I just teach very simple music and songs to kids in schools. It was always one of my dreams to study in Italy. It didn't work out before. I studied in Cyprus. But I really wanted to gain knowledge of the Italian methodology in teaching guitar and being a guitarist in this country. I think there are many, many amazing teachers that contributed to the methodologies, especially now ones that Professor Stefano Viola showed us. So it was very interesting for me to see. And it's something that when I was a student, I didn't have access to, and my teachers, they were from everywhere. So I never really had one methodology. But now with this course, I'm able to kind of better navigate how I should teach my students And I could also compare how my teachers taught me and how I also, as a teacher, developed my own methodology. So we had lectures with the Professor Rola about guitar pedagogy. So how to teach students different methodologies for different ages. So, for example, the guitar, it's usually an instrument that they need to pick up after they're 9 or 10 years old. But he also showed us ways that we can even adapt the instruments to younger kids, like 7 or 8 years old, maybe even less. So it was very interesting to see, because people really like this instrument, but it can be quite difficult to start at a young age. So it's good to have a methodology that really adapts like the love and passion for the guitar with the possibilities that or the possible ways that the students and ages 7 and 8 can actually use it. As a guitarist, I really appreciate the commonly known pieces. Why? Like, for example, maybe this is a bad example, but I love this piece, Asturias. I like it, and people like it, but it's one of the pieces that you really, really need to study hard to be able to perfect it and give a good interpretation. Many people want to play guitar to get to this piece. It's a very high-level piece and quite demanding. And also psychologically to perform it, it's also not easy. So I think this piece is what everyone thinks classical guitar is for the common audience. But for me also, like as a guitarist, I really like pieces that are not only just made, not only guitarists can enjoy, but also other musicians can enjoy. For example, I really like Sor Variations on a theme by Mozart. I really like this piece. The Sor Variations, I mean, it's a piece that I think people who play also orchestral instruments can enjoy, because it has many different characteristics. Like you can see that this part, for example, the melody is kind of can be played on a flute. I mean, this is on the Magic Flute, or it can represent the violin character, and then the other voices can imitate other instruments within the orchestra. So for me, these pieces are really what I find interesting, because it dives in to music as a whole and not just guitar. Like, to understand and be able to play this piece, you need to understand music as a whole, big picture, rather than just guitar music. I'm mostly teaching. I do have some opportunities to perform. I really like performing in more intimate spaces with like an audience, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 people. I like that. I do also like performing with other musicians. I like chamber music a lot. I think that to be a good teacher, you need to understand the mechanism and reasons why you do things the way you do. I mean, because there are many musicians who can play, and they play very good. But in order to have this mind-muscle connection and understanding why you're doing this. So, for example, on the guitar, just you can hear a difference in playing a note on the 3rd string as opposed to the 4th string. So it's good that when you interpret a piece, you need to see, do I like it on this 3rd string, or do I want to play it, for example, on this 4th string? Why is it in this version the 3rd string? Why is it in another version 4th string? What is it trying to imitate? So I think just studying a bit further than just the notation, and actually studying the literature, the composer. Sometimes we have composers that weren't even guitarists, you know. For example, Villalobos was a cellist. Okay, so in his music, you need to find, in my opinion, I try to find similarities between cello and guitar. in a very simple way. But I think that it's important to study the literature and to be knowledgeable about it, to have, first of all, a stylistically accurate representation of the piece that you're performing. And for the students, when they ask you, why can I do this on the guitar on this string, but I can also do it here? Why to do it an open string instead of a fretted note, for example? You have to be able to justify it. And this experience taught me to evaluate what I am doing as a teacher, how to approach students and their different demands that they need, be able to apply and adapt my methodologies to each student, but also to be more accurate and be more precise when I approach students, what they want to do and what their goals are, and what I can do for them. How can I help them achieve their goals and not just my goals or the conservatory's goals? Yeah, so just being able to use different methodologies and be exposed as a teacher to what other teachers are doing, so I can adapt, take some parts from here, some parts from there that are finally applied to my students.